Anna felt slightly perplexed as she prepared her morning coffee. She caught a glimpse of movement near the garden walls of her front yard as she peered out her kitchen window first thing in the morning. It took her a bit to figure out what it was, but eventually she realized it was a puppy. Before we start, can we get this video to 1,000 likes? Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. She could hardly believe what she saw. It was completely isolated from other people. Anna debated what to do for a while, but ultimately decided to go out. She couldn't just abandon the baby. That being the case, she emerged from the house in her robe and walked up to the pooch. Surely enough, the owner was nowhere in sight. She felt terrible for the small puppy. The little one made a gentle squealing sound as she got closer to it. He clearly wasn't intimidated by Anna, but as she took it in her hands, a surprising thing happened. Anna walked up to the dog coolly and extended a hand. The small animal took a few steps backward. He appeared to desire her assistance, but wasn't ready to give her his whole confidence. When Anna reached out her hand, the pup retreated a little, but it didn't seem to be terrified of her. He sniffed her hand and then began licking it after a while. It was obvious that he needed a bit of help. Thankfully, her patience paid off, as the dog eventually started tentatively sniffing her fingers. Anna scratched the puppy's head in response. The animal felt comfortable about this show of love. In response, he stood up and started getting closer to Anna. Anna, however, noted something a bit weird the moment he did so. After the dog got up, Anna saw a key underneath him. "What is that?" the lady wondered curiously. She turned her head around, seeing if it came from anywhere nearby. Is this some kind of practical joke? She leaned over slowly and carefully to lift it up. It seemed to be an antique key that might unlock a fortress. Anna was completely lost. Taking the dog and the key, she entered her house. The key was dropped on the table by her. And then, all of a sudden, she finally got it. That the key was dated 1722. She knew it must be rather ancient. She then started to dream of all the money she could get from this. The owner of an antique shop was always assuring her friend of the potential financial rewards of dealing in vintage goods. After that, Anna hastily hopped into her car. Luckily, on the way to the police station to drop off the puppy, she passed by her friend's shop. That way, she could drop the dog off at the station and then visit her. She may be able to track down its owners. Her discovery, though, was something totally else. Anna and the little one arrived at the vintage shop half an hour later. When Anna came with the dog in her arms, her acquaintance gushed, "Oh, look how adorable! Is this anything worth selling?" Anna said as she approached the desk. Along with this key, and she carefully positioned the antique artifact on top of the woman's desk. With a magnifying lens, Carrie examined the key. Anna was quite interested in hearing the final price, but her friend's reaction was nothing that she had anticipated. Despite his grin, Carrie gave Anna a cautious glance. The antique store proprietor confidently told her, "I know precisely what this key is for. You can get inside Veller Castle's garden with this key. The key has it printed in tiny characters on the grip." Anna gave her a startled glance. She reasoned, perhaps the puppy's owners reside there. It was definitely worth her time to look into it. The gardens were conveniently located, so that's where Anna headed first. Anna finally made it to the Veller Castle Gardens. Her friend had given her no indication of what to anticipate at this property. She was not familiar with the area and had never visited. However, she really wanted to go there. Sadly, it was a national treasure and could not be visited in such a casual manner. More than 10 doorways led to various rooms, and she was not sure which one to choose. The moment she turned the key, she spotted him. The key had a number 6 on it, indicating the 6th door should be opened. Anna figured that this had to be it. As she carried the puppy out the door, she reflected on the scenario and did some light meditation. What a weird search. Something's not quite right. Anna kept on going against the odds. She still had unanswered questions. The owners of the adorable puppy were people she needed to track down. The anxious lady inserted the key into the hole of the rusty garden gate. As soon as it clicked, the latch was released. She pushed the door softly but firmly. Anna wept uncontrollably once she saw the other side. Henry, her long-term boyfriend, was standing in the yard. They exchanged deep, soulful gazes with one another. Anna was first stunned. She couldn't fathom what she was seeing. But her lover interrupted her before she could speak. "Please, sweetie, do not worry. I'm sure you'll agree that our relationship has been through a lot in the previous several weeks. You wanted a serious commitment. You didn't want our relationship to get stale. And you were worried that I wasn't ready for the next step. I guess I just wanted to take a risk and prove that I'm not without surprises of my own. I even added a bigger surprise with the puppy I got for us." In between sobs, Anna nodded her head in agreement with Henry. The guy suddenly pulled a ring out of his pocket and proposed to his girlfriend. "There is also another question I wanted to ask. Will you marry me?" Anna nodded at Henry after staring at him for a while. There were no words for what she wanted to say. She hoped desperately that everything was well between her and her lover. This, however, was completely out of character for him. He slipped the ring onto her finger. When they finished, they gave each other a big bear embrace. They were in awe of their good fortune to have found one other. Anna informed him, "There is just one thing left to do now." They had to name the puppy. After a brief pause, they both stared at her and said, "Veller."